All right, let's just dive right into it. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are tackling a topic today that, let's be honest, strikes fear into the heart of pretty much every adventurer out there: dying in the Immortal Realm. If you've ever felt that sudden cold pit in your stomach when your HP bar completely empties out, well, you are in exactly the right place. Because today, we're taking a completely different look at in-game death. We're not framing it as this massive game-ending catastrophe, but really just as a completely manageable temporary hurdle. Seriously, with the right know-how, it's just a bump in the road. To ease your anxiety a bit, here is our quick roadmap. We're going to cover the reality of death, recovering your corpse, the mortal shock penalty, gravestones and rituals, and finally, young player protection. Let's get to demystifying the whole thing. Starting things off with Section 1, the reality of death. Basically, what actually goes down the exact second your HP hits zero. Okay, so let's walk through this exact chronological chain of events. Bam, your health hits zero and you instantly become a ghost. A corpse drops right there, holding literally everything you were just carrying. Second thing that happens, a gravestone automatically drops at that exact spot, kind of acting as a permanent landmark. Third, you get slapped with a stack of mortal shock, and don't worry, we're going to unpack that in just a second. But step 4 is really your absolute lifeline. The system instantly teleports your ghost over to the nearest healer. You see, the game actually wants you to bounce back. It gets you out of danger so you can manifest and get resurrected right away. Which brings us nicely into Section 2, recovering your corpse. This is all about the ticking clock to get your hard-earned gear back. Because once you're resurrected, speed is absolutely crucial. You've got exactly 15 minutes. That is the critical timer that starts ticking the literal second you die, right up until your corpse decays into bones. Now, yeah, the bones do persist for another 15 minutes, and technically your gear is still accessible, but trust me, you really want to plan your travel back inside that very first 15-minute window. Recalling to a nearby rune is 100% your best move to beat the clock here. But, of course, where you die changes the entire game. This is a brilliant illustration of the stark contrast between the two main facets of the realm. If you happen to die on Trammel, look, you can breathe a little easier. Your corpse is completely safe, it's unlootable by anyone else, and it's strictly yours to reclaim within that timer. You literally just walk over, grab your stuff, and you're good to go. But if you bite the dust on Felucca, that is a completely cutthroat reality. Your corpse is totally open season. Whoever gets there first, whether it's you or the player who just took you down, gets the gear. In Felucca, speed isn't just important, it is everything. And because of that open looting reality, you have to remember this absolute golden rule of survival. Bring nothing to Felucca you can't afford to lose. It's really that simple. When you venture into those dangerous zones, keep your real valuables locked up tight in the bank. Only wear light, easily replaceable gear. That way, if someone does beat you to your corpse, it's a minor annoyance, not a devastating blow to your whole progression. All right, so let's say you've beaten the clock and grabbed your gear. You're completely fine now, right? Well, not quite. Moving on to Section 3, the mortal shock penalty, the lingering toll of death. Remember that mortal shock stack I mentioned earlier? Well, those stacks accumulate, and they steadily cripple your maximum HP. If you're sitting at just 1 or 2 stacks, it's barely noticeable. But at 4 to 6 stacks, you're definitely facing a mild combat handicap. By the time you hit 8 to 12, it's a real handicap. Pushing 14 to 20, you've got a serious problem on your hands. And if you somehow hit the absolute cap of 24 stacks, listen to me. Do not fight. Under any circumstances. You absolutely must take action to clear it, or just take a really long break. So how exactly do you get rid of them? The absolute best news here is natural decay. Stacks naturally reduce by 1 for every hour of real-world time. And here's the absolute kicker. This happens even while you are logged out. You don't have to just stand around in-game waiting to burn off the penalty. When you log back in, the system actually reads your offline time and catches you up. A standard 24-hour break will completely clear a maximum penalty entirely for free, all while you're safely sleeping in the real world. But hey, what if you have high stacks, you want to keep grinding, and you don't want to wait hours? Let's check out Section 4, gravestones and rituals. These are the community cures for your penalties. Now, we mentioned gravestones a minute ago. Your gravestone isn't just some grim little marker showing everyone exactly where you failed. It actually persists for a full 24 hours. It's an unmovable landmark, it's publicly visible, and most importantly, it actively serves as a ritual surface for the rest of the community to come and help you clear those nasty mortal shock stacks. What's really fascinating about this is the sheer variety of social safety nets you have at your disposal. Like, if you're sitting on 8 or more stacks, you can contact the College of Surgeons. They can actually meet you at your grave, perform last rites, and boom, clear all your stacks instantly. Or, alternatively, the High Ledger can issue what's called a death certificate. That clears your stacks while creating a durable public record of your demise. But honestly, my personal favorite is Mourner's Flowers. Any friend can just drop flowers at your gravestone. Each floral tribute removes 1 stack, up to 5 per grave. So seriously, don't suffer alone. Ask your guildmates for a hand. I know. This is a whole lot of mechanics to absorb all at once. If you're sitting there feeling a bit intimidated, don't sweat it. Let's look at Section 5, Young Player Protection, a built-in safety net for beginners. If you're brand new, you automatically get Young Player status. Until you've played a certain number of total hours, or if you manually drop the status using the command I must consider my sins, you enjoy some massive protections. We're talking reduced monster damage, you get partial loot protection, you are completely safe from PvP, and honestly, the best part? Absolutely no mortal shock stacks. You literally get to skip the entire penalty system while you're still enjoying your training reels. Which perfectly brings us to the end of our journey today. And I want to leave you with this one final thought. Since death is an absolutely guaranteed reality of the immortal realm, are you prepared for your next inevitable demise? I mean, you know the timelines now. You know the massive difference between Trammel and Felucca, and you know exactly how to leverage your community to wipe away that mortal shock. It is time to stop fearing death, put these survival rules into practice, and get right back out there. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you all in the next one.